Hi, my name is Gary Sellers. Welcome to this video series. This particular video is going to be about animal healing. People often ask me what animal healing is, and I say it's healing animals. It's something I've sort of developed over the last couple of years. As I'm a wellbeing consultant for 18 years, so I've studied a lot about mind and body, and currently sort of studying neuroscience, quantum physics. So there's a good understanding now of energy, or people are certainly understanding the word of energy, and I think there's a lot of energy transference when working with animals. I work with equine horses, dogs, cats. I recently worked with a couple of rabbits in Australia, a couple of cats in France, another dog in Germany. I do hands-on work. I like to go into the box with the horse. I always go in with the rider and the jockey as well, and that's really important because for me, the transference of energy is from the owners to the animals. People sort of don't really quite understand that just yet. Although, if you imagine, we obviously love our animals, we love our children and things. So when our animals are injured or hurt, or our children are crying, or something's not right, but nothing verbally has been said. But there's a transference of energy. You just know, or maybe your partner, your loved one, or a family member. You just know something's not right, and that really is a transference of energy. So what I'm finding is when I work with the various animals, and an example was I went into a few miles away work with a horse that a vet classically had said, oh, we're going to have to put the horse down. It was a 9-year-old horse. It was a 7-footer. Great big horse. The owner was confused and didn't know what to do because obviously the vets had said, put the horse down. The horse wouldn't come out of the box. It was kicking in the box. It was certainly couldn't be transferred to another area. So I went in the box with the owner, and it was quite frightening initially, actually, because I don't do too many live one-to-ones. A lot of people sort of send me pictures, and I work from that over the internet or have a chat with them on various social media sites. But yeah, it is once I sort of got in and got talking to the owner of the horse. I realized where the horse was telling me psychically or intuitively that it had a trauma actually, and it'd been hit by a car in its early life, in early days as such, and this is why it didn't really want to transfer, and we were sort of it was more of just being frightened than anything else. So, but the fact this transference of energy or this little traumatic experience, as anyone would if they almost got run over by a car or some sort of mini trauma in their life, it does carry through with us into our body. So we sort of managed to recognize that memory, and then talking to the owner and everything, it was interesting that obviously she'd lost her confidence and she was worried, and there was a lot of negative people around her and everything. And so sort of changing that, and I spent a couple of hours putting hands on healing. I did a thing called color scan, which is something that I like to. I work through the colors of the chakras: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, white. I literally scan the whole body. It's something I do. Quite a few people are familiar with chakras. Everybody has their own version of it. This is what I do. I call it color scanning. I literally, when people send me photos, I usually ask them to send 3 photos. One of them must be the whole body, so I can look literally head to tail as such, and then I scan, and I intuitively scan red, scan orange, scan yellow. I don't see colours, just a colour comes to mind, and then that will mean this, that, and the other, that I interpreted what's going on with that, and that works really well. So, which is why I'm certainly working with the rabbits in Australia recently, or the end of last year. I reckon there was cause of death actually. Someone who I know out in Australia, in Sydney, had a couple of rabbits, and they also have kangaroos, as they do in Australia, and a range of animals. But sadly, these 2 rabbits had passed away, and they were very concerned because obviously they were normal healthy rabbits a few days ago, and then they passed away sadly, and they wanted to know whether it was something that was going to affect all the animals on the farm. and the kangaroos and other animals that are running around in the farmyard. But no, it was interesting. She sent me a couple of photos of the rabbits, and what I didn't realise also, she never told me, they obviously had the vets come in to test the rabbits, which she hadn't told me, and I told her my diagnose of what caused the 2 deaths of the rabbits, and then she confirmed that that was correct, and that she also had the vets in, and it confirmed what the vets had told her as well. So that was really sort of quite spooky in some ways, but yeah, very sad, but it was nice that I could do that sort of thing. Haven't done too many of the cause of death ones. Certainly I work with a lot of animals that are poorly, or they're not eating well, or as I say, the horses. So yeah, the horse that I was working with, we did a lot of work, and then literally the owner I gave her sort of some homework to do, and I said, look, go away and do this, change your thoughts, and that's critical as well, because if you change your thoughts, then obviously we know that the brain doesn't understand any negative thoughts. So any negative thoughts that you have, you just basically attract more shit in your life. So easier said than done. We all have negative thoughts. I'm no angel by any means, but we do need to be aware of our thoughts. So stay in the positive with your thoughts, and then that transfers. Whatever you're thinking about, it will attract to you. So that there is a lot to learn there. So the owner changed her thoughts about her confidence and the situation that she was around and everything with the horse. And a couple of weeks later, she contacted me and said that good news, the horse had been transferred to completely about 20 miles away, and is now roaming in a field not too far from where I live, actually. And she couldn't believe it, and just the whole thing. And I said to her, what was the difference? What was the big difference? Because this is a horse that the vets were going to put down. This is a horse that wouldn't come out of the box. This is a horse that couldn't travel. And yeah, great big 7-footer, beautiful brown horse. And she said, "Well, I just changed my thoughts, and obviously the work that you did in the box with the horse, with the hands-on healing and the color scanning and everything else." She said, "I thought it was a bit weird at the time, but I just sort of go with it because I love my horse and I really wanted to do something about it, and I was sort of lost, and it worked really well." And yeah, so transferred very well, and also, and just recently, an update on that particular story. The lady that I'm still in touch with has just now bought a second horse. So, well, it just shows you there's sort of I'm no vet, I'm no medical doctor or anything, but however, we do seem to live in a world, or people want to put animals to sleep quite quickly nowadays, and sometimes maybe we could sort of have a look at natural healing or healing animals and understand a bit more. Working with dogs and cats, that's quite a common one for me. I was working over about 40 miles away, a great big dog. It was interesting actually, because I was asked to, I met a lady in a coffee shop and I had my animal healing t-shirt on. And she said, "Oh, I've got a friend who's looking for an animal healer. Are you an animal healer?" And I said, "Yes, I can help." And she said, "Well, would you mind going over and see my friend?" So I went over to see this lady, and a great big dog. And I got the colour yellow, if I remember rightly. And all of a sudden, all her sort of staff turned up, which was quite interesting. So I ended up sort of talking to 5 family members, members of staff, while I was sort of healing healing the dog, actually. And it was interesting because it's very much transference then. We were in a very large kitchen, and they all had worries, they all had concerns, they all had issues themselves, but also they all loved the dog in their own interpretation as well, and that was really manifesting. It was a dog that had arthritis, so they were being very protective of the dog, and they were starting to not take it for a walk and not do this and not do that, and push him up the stairs and things like that. And I just said, no, the dog wants the freedom. The yellow is freedom, power, control in the chakra world. So I said that, the dog wants to be free, and they said, well, we would, but we're nervous of doing that. I said, no, but the dog's asking for it. The dog wants the freedom. Yes, he can walk a bit slower, but he can sort of get about. So do let him have the freedom, and let him slowly get up the stairs on his own, unaided. Let him go for a walk and walk slowly with him. And so they did. And the dog's better. It's still got the arthritis. However, they're more happier. The dog's happier, and everybody's happy. A cat, well, actually another one, the cat in France, that there was sort of seemed to be just sort of staying in his own little basket, really. And but that very much manifestation from the owner of what was going on in her life asked her to address or be aware of her own thoughts, because obviously she really, really loved this cat, and I think the cat was about 20 years old actually. But yeah, it is still life in the cat, and she changed her thoughts, and yeah, she sent me a beautiful message afterwards, and she just couldn't believe it, really, because people just don't understand the whole transference of energy. And again, it's so sort of whatever's going on in your home life, in your relationships, in your work, if you worry, then you are worrying that energy out in the universe somewhere. So if you're worried, then you're going to attract more worry. As I say, the brain can't understand negatives, so any negative thought we have, we positively just get more crap in our lives, really. So it is being aware and trying to stay in the positive, but being aware that our children, our animals, are very much affected by it. When I do hands-on healing, I do literally just lay the hands on the animal, if appropriate. Or you can work in an aura. You don't have to be literally sort of hands-on. You can work 6 inches, 12 inches. I mean, if I can, as I say, I work with animals in Australia, and so you can work distance healing as well. It's very much about the importance of healing is the intention that you put in it. You can't just sort of put your hands on it and think, oh, I'm going to do some shopping later on, or I've got to do this problem at work, and you're not really giving your effort. You need to really love, and intention is the big healer. So it is there's a lot of books around the neuroscience and psychology now saying that if you have great intention, and you want someone to get better, you want an animal to get better, that the fact you're giving your effort to it will help them dramatically. So there is a lot of research certainly coming out to the forefront in books and current books in 2017 now, that is very much showing this. It is very much about certainly about the placebo as well. So that's very interesting. Even placebos or no placebos, but particular placebos that you're told there is nothing in the placebo, and yet you still take it. But the fact you've taken it, the fact you believe that by taking something you will get better, there's enough science to say that the people do get better, and scientific results have shown that people are getting better as well. So working with animals, hands-on healing, if you place your hands on the animal, and the dog, cat, horse, goldfish, rabbit, guinea pig, mice, whatever, duck. I mean, my mum used to have ducks, so it's we used to have a range of animals, but yeah, but when you run your hands gently over them or gently above them, particularly cats love them when they're asleep on your lap or something. When they've had enough, or people say, well, how much is too much, or if I do too much, will they blow up or something? And no, they that. They just love it. Animals, particularly cats, if they've had enough of healing, or you running your hands over them, then they'll just get up and walk away. So that's fine. And dogs are exactly the same. That they tend to stand still for a few minutes, a few seconds, and then they'll go away. And when you run your hands over the cats and dogs, you will feel hot and cold spots. A hot spot is a congestion of energy, and a cold spot is a good thing. So when you have a hot spot, then just spread it out, like smooth it out as you would, and then you'll come back to it, and then you'll find it's gone from hot spot to a cold spot, and those sort of areas. Always look at the for me, as I do with humans as well. I mean, I do love a good illness. I'm very much into any illness, really. It's very much cause and effect, or causation. What caused that illness? So if you look at asthmatics and things, obviously that's a breathing issue. So it's the throat, it's communication, because it's obviously a throat linked. They're not taking enough air on. So if you look at an asthmatic, and if you think, well, if you breathe new air into your life, then the asthmatics would get better, and it is very much a case of that. If you've got problems with your eyes, then you shouldn't have seen something. Don't want to see something, hiding from something. Problems with your hands. Don't want to touch something. Don't want to get some help. Eczema is a common one, sort of thing, and that's linked to spine. What does the spine do? The spine is support. Lower spine is financial problems. Upper spine is the support that you give yourself. So again, very much looking into feet problems, stubbornness, don't want to go forward, no flexibility in your life and things. So again, looking at the animals, looking at the area that is being affected. Then you've got left side, right side of the body. So you've got the male side, you've got the female side. They tend to be mother and father type figures. It doesn't have to be mum and dad. It can be mum and dad figures, or someone in that. As certainly from experience, and I talk quite confident about this, that it will be. There's definitely some manifestation there going on that's affecting the animal, and then again it also affects the humans as well. So I was working about a year and a half ago with a lady who had 10 dogs. 3 dogs had throat problems. She had a cold herself, and she said, well, Gary, can you come and help me? I've got 10 dogs, but 3 of them have got flu-like symptoms. I don't know what's going on. I don't want the other sort of 7 to get that. So I went around and had a look and listened to what the owner had to say, and had a look at the dogs with some hands-on healing. And I said, well, let's look at the illness then. Let's look at the colds. Colds is communication, it's throat. Is there something that you're not saying? Have you had an argument with someone? What's going on? She said, well, my gran, who lives in the granny flat down the end of the garden, we are having a little bit of a discussion, shall we say, at the moment, and there's things that need to clear the air. And I said, well, then clear the air, and things will change. She says, yeah, right, Gary, that's really going to work. And no, I said, no, that really does. You really do need to have a word with your gran down the granny flat, clear the air, whatever this family dispute is, sort it out, and then it will change. And yeah, whatever, Gary, yeah. Anyway, she did. 24 hours later, good as gold. Cold had gone, and guess what? The dogs got better. So it is, very much a manifestation again. So, yeah, that's just a brief insight into animal healing. I am currently writing a book at the moment. It's February actually, February 2017. I was hoping to get the book out in March of this year. It's not going to happen at the moment, slight delay on that. I intend to have it out by the summer of 2017. I do have 2 other books on Amazon at the moment. One is helping survivors of sexual abuse, and another one is the winning mindset for weight loss. They're both on Amazon, and they're both on Kindle format as well. If you want any more information, or you'd like to know a bit more about animal healing, you can go on my website. It's garysellers.com. Sellers is SELLORS.com. Or you can contact me by email. That's wellbeingconsultant@hotmail.co.uk. As I say, if you've got any questions, or I do have a Facebook for animals. It's Equine and Pet Healing. On Facebook, that's Equine and Pet Healing. So please like me, join the group. It's a growing group. And if you have any questions about animals, or any causation, or any energy, or anything at all that you think is relevant, then please don't hesitate to call me. Thank you for your time. Hope you've really enjoyed this video. I'll be doing a wonderful range of more videos around different subjects and different therapeutic interventions that I've studied over the many years. But certainly in the meantime, thank you very much for your time, and have a good day.